The following is an exclusive original presentation of the 252 ESPN Radio Network.
The drive starts right now.
Starts right now.
Just living the dream.
Here's a guy who gets paid to talk.
Are you ready for the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment?
No, he's dead. Doing a radio show, so what? The most anticipated radio show ever.
1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3!
Well, this is The Drive, and I'm Mark Penicelli, and he is Sam Abeles, ready to start our week. And let's face it, Sam, the countdown has begun. The countdown to baseball season is imminently upon us. Am I not right?
You are completely right. I was going to go so far as to say that, boom, it is here. The dreaded dog days of summer that is the barren wasteland of sports come June and July into early August. It is finally upon us. I do not care that there are Stanley Cup playoffs going on. I certainly no longer care that there are two more, and just mind, I'm saying just two more NBA basketball games. It's over, man. It's here. The dark days. The
best conversation of the day so far that I didn't take part in, that I was just listening to somebody else. It was you. You're talking to Caroline about, I think it's some TV show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And she's like, yeah, you can see it. And Sam goes, yeah, I'll probably watch some tonight. There's no sports on.
Are there sports on tonight? I'm confused.
Stanley Cup Final, Game 4. Capitals lead 2-1.
So no sports on tonight. It's good.
And let's face it, for many of you too, he's Kyle Gaskins, who won't be joining us today. We're going to have Brian North from News Channel 12 and Fox Eastern Carolina join us. But for many of you that were hoping for an ECU Pirate, to me, Kyle Gaskins' trip to Omaha, that is not going to happen now. Eliminated by... This is like... You know, if we're going to go like get crazy Game of Thrones, the chip on the shoulder, like half brother or stepchild,
right,
being outed by the even less entitled nephew.
Right. It's like the second son is ousted by the bastard child. If you want to go full Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, UNC woman, I mean,
God bless them, but it's a beach school with a ton of women.
Yes, we really pick on ECU at time to time because they feel like the stepchild.
Redheaded stepchild.
Don't belong. You're not an ACC team. And UNC Wilmington, listen, I'll be honest with you. I've never really ran into somebody who was like diehard, like, oh, I'm a UNCW fan. Like, that's straight up what I do. Have you?
No, the only thing that UNCW has ever produced is Kevin Keats. That's it.
Kevin Keats.
That's the most memorable name to ever come out of the UNCW.
There.
Coached there for, I think, 3 years. Yeah.
And we got a what's his name? Newbern.
Whitman Barnes.
Whitman Barnes, yeah.
There, yeah.
But
I grew up down the street from Whitman Barnes, man. He and I used to play football in the backyard every day.
Well,
it's like 2 houses down from me.
If we asked him, would he say, "Oh yeah, I'm a UNCW fan," because they got a basketball team and a baseball team. I mean, you'd have to pick your own college football team because they don't have a football program there. But
yeah, I don't know what it's like to be a UNCW fan. I
mean, do you? Because to me, it's like, as I've told you, like when they get in the basketball tournament, it's all just them getting there is like winning the national championship. If they were to win a game, it would be like winning the national championship because you never think that UNCW is going to make a legitimate run at a title in basketball. Now, I don't know what this baseball thing is going to do, but apparently they'll have a shot, best of 3, to make it to Omaha, which would be pretty cool, right, for a UNCW school.
They still have to beat South Carolina twice.
Yeah. Oh, they're not even. Yeah,
no,
okay.
yeah, so
That's
this
right.
is kind of
shows you how much I even pay attention to any of that.
I actually watched a lot of College World Series this weekend, and I really, really enjoyed it. The ECU game kind of screwed me up just because of the rain delay stuff. And Saturday night, I believe it or not, do have better things to do than sit around and watch a college baseball game, especially just a regional game. But I watched it Friday night. But on most of the day Saturday, I had it on, and just some awesome games. I mean, the thing that stuck out the most was Florida State, number 7 in the country, Florida State, perennial powerhouse. I want to say, I can't remember their coach's name, but I saw a stat where he is the winningest coach in college baseball history. He's been coaching for 39 years. I think he'd been to Omaha like 9 times and essentially in the College World Series every single season. Has not won it all, ever. But Florida State up 2-0 against Mississippi State. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, 2 strikes against the Bulldogs. Florida State just needs 1 strike, 1 out to advance. And this kid from Mississippi State comes up and just bombs one. Dead center field, walk-off 3-run home run. Wow. 3-run home run to advance for Mississippi State and eliminate Florida State. ACC really did not show up well this weekend either.
Yeah, you were telling me Wolfpack gone.
Louisville gone.
Yeah. Well, again, tough. And I guess my dream scenario of North Carolina State, ECU, and Duke all making it to Omaha is now over. Not that I really thought that was a feasible thing. And it's definitely tough. I was telling you, though, ECU has lost. That's 59. They've won 36, lost 59 NCAA postseason games. They struggled at home. You know, Brian North, who's going to join us later today, told us, I think on Friday, they're 20-10. They were 20-10 going into this weekend at home. They had not been good in the friendly confines. They had been a better team on the road this year than at home. And so I don't know if that played into it or not, but for an athletic program that has really had a tough season, football, obviously a big struggle, basketball, the baseball season was all about sort of shaking all that off and having a decent run, but here they are ousted in the first weekend.
Yeah. Long story short, you just can't give up 9 runs in a single inning. I think that probably goes a long way to getting yourself eliminated real quickly. But
we'll talk more about it, as I said. Brian North joined. And let's face it, so many of you are now ECU baseball fans going, well, what do I do? Well, at least the NBA Finals is on. Really? Is it on? There'll be a game, was it Wednesday and Friday?
Wednesday and Friday, yes. We predicted last week on the show, I think it was last Wednesday.
Yes.
Michael Norwood was in here, and we said that next Friday, this Friday coming up now, would be the final game of the NBA season. And that seems to be playing out exactly as we said.
I was telling you, I saw that, and many of you probably got this update, that part of his pregame ritual protocol is Steph Curry. His protocol is to, goes out in the warm-ups, and then as he's walking back to the tunnel, he does, and I've done this. You've done it, right? You're going in, you're going home for the day. Everybody does that, 3, 2, from the middle of nowhere. He hit that shot last night before the game started. And I was telling you, that should have been the indication that he was going to have the night that he was going to have last night.
Historic night. Most three-pointers in a single NBA Finals game. 9 of 17. 9 made three-point shots for Steph Curry. 4 in the first half. He passed LeBron James as the record holder for the most three-pointers made in a career in the NBA Finals. Steph Curry, at a young age, already has that record and is going to continue to build it.
But the feeling is no way, right?
No. I love the idea of you, because you just said the Steph Curry shot, the warm-up shot you're talking about. You said you do this, I do this, as you're walking home or whatever. I love the idea of you, like, walking into the house at the end of the night and just throwing up, like, some trick basketball shot from your front porch or something. Like, I'm envisioning you doing that.
I'm sure I've told you. I tell everybody this, and I can verify. We'd have to get my cousin on the phone. My favorite of this moment was literally one afternoon I did that, and I did the shot, didn't even try. I literally was continuing to walk forward and just chunked it behind my head. And it went in, and thank God there was somebody there to see it. Now, again, probably did that a million times. That was the one time that it ever worked. But, I mean, is it funny to think? I mean, because you don't do that? I mean, you're right.
Well, I mean... No, not consistently.
I mean, obviously, this is the court that's at my house,
right?
So because you're not going to you're going to take the basketball with you if it's not your court, but if it's in your driveway, then you can just leave the basketball there and wait for, somebody to be like, hey, go get the ball out of the yard.
Did you have obviously the most popular game to play in the driveway is horse, right? Did you have a go-to shot in horse? Because I know I did growing up. So the way my parents' driveway was set up growing up is, it's the side of the house was a brick house, and then, I don't know, like 20, 30 by 30, 40 by 40 foot, like, patch of driveway, and the basketball goal was set up so where it was the backboard was parallel with the side of the house, the brick house. So my go-to shot in horse was I would stand at about what would probably be the equal distance of a free throw line and take the ball and chuck it underhand against the side of the house. It would fly back over my head, and I got to where I could probably hit that shot. I mean, I don't want to say I had Steph Curry numbers with that shot, but I bet I was shooting 30% on that shot. That was my go-to in horse. Off the side of the house and in.
In my competitive days of basketball, and I missed this because it was probably 40 years ago.
So when you were 5, those were your competitive days. No. Your basketball peaked at the age of 5.
If I was playing horse with someone who wasn't very agile, athletic, I would always do some ridiculous layup shot. One in which maybe you go, sort of like finger roll, but go. Under, go under the reverse. The reverse, the reverse layup. Maybe try to do something fun like bring it down to your knees and sort of do it behind something that an unathletic person would be like, okay, thanks a lot, dude. Like I can't do that. The other one would just be distance because back in my day, the 3-pointer wasn't this big thing.
There was no 3-pointer back in my day, and you couldn't dunk.
No, there was. I couldn't dunk, but there was. There was a 3-point line, but it was basically the Steve Kerrs, the guys who probably played like 12, 13 minutes, who would come in and be your specialist. So I would always do some sort of quick either turnaround fadeaway 3-pointer or, as I was saying, the reverse layup. Did you have a go-to horse?
Yeah, it was the one off the side of the house.
Yeah. Okay.
I always hated the guy who went behind the basket and did the because when you shoot from behind the basket, you have to do a full-on rainbow shot. And I had a buddy of mine who that was his thing. Is we're playing horse, he shoots from behind the basket the whole entire time. I hated it.
Yeah.
Or under the basket. Don't be the guy that shoots the shot from underneath the basket.
Yeah. So we didn't play a lot of 21 was our big thing.
21.
It was all, one-on-one, but there'd be 5 of us. And, of course, if people don't play that, let's over dummy explain. All 5 people are for their own. They have to, the first person to score 21 wins. You can't go over or you go back to 17.
Yes.
And if you make a shot, you go to the free throw line.
Right, you get 2 points for your made shot in essentially scrimmage where it's 1-on-4.
Yes, and I think we had a rule too. If you made 3 free throws in a row, they just made you take it out because if a guy got hot on the playground, he could just sit there at the free throw line and end the game after he made 1 shot.
Did y'all play taps? Did you have the taps rule where like if you get the rebound and you jump up and you put it in like a tip in?
Yeah.
Then that person also we just played go back to 0. If you get tapped, then you go back to 0.
No, we didn't play that. Yeah. We played take back, where essentially when you got the rebound from any shot, you had to take it back to at least the 3-point line before, unless you were closely guarded.
Well,
again,
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned the take back because as you were talking about the game of 21, I actually think I just had a revelation about game 1 of these NBA Finals. J.R. Smith strikes me as the kind of guy who grew up and it was blacktop basketball.
Right.
Asphalt basketball somewhere, on a court at a rec center somewhere. The rule in all basketball, doesn't matter if you're playing 21, if you're playing 1-on-1, you get the rebound, you've got to take it back unless it's your own rebound. Did J.R. Smith have a complete brain lapse and realize that he had to take it back first? Is that what we saw in game 1?
He just had one of those things where he flashed back to when he was a kid and he was standing on that free throw line and thinking, man, we'll just take it back. We'll just take it back. I mean, because guys would do that. That's all I was saying. You didn't want to go over. So if a guy was like on 19, he would intentionally try to hit the rim and have it bounce back to him. Because we had this rule, no hard, no soft, which meant you couldn't just airball it or you couldn't just do that, throw it hard against the backboard.
Right.
And have it come back to you. But some guys didn't want to have to stand there and try to hit that last free throw.
Because then you're going to bust automatically, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. So, anyways, I can't believe we went off on a tangent. But, that's more entertaining than what I think this series might provide.
21, man.
Fun days.
Yeah.
I mean, and those are, like, summer's coming. I was telling you, for adults, we don't have this. Kids, if you're listening, kids, listen to me. Because you don't know. Nobody tells you, or maybe you see it and you just fail to realize it. This summer vacation thing, it ends. Once you're done with school, nobody gives you 3 months off consecutively unless you want to be unemployed. 3 months off in the summer as an adult means you're unemployed.
Right. Your life is not going well if you have 3 months off. Right.
So we'll talk maybe about the summer today. Brian North is going to join us today. We'll talk some more about ECU baseball. We've
got a lot to get into with this basketball stuff still, too.
Oh, yeah. There's so much.
You're right. A game of 21 between you and I is certainly more entertaining than these NBA finals and what I'm projecting them to probably be the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But there's still just some awesome stuff going on.
There's a lot of fun stuff going on. I saw an extended feed did you see this, of LeBron James and J.R. Smith after the game won?
Yes.
The whole body language and
my
reaction and all that stuff. If you haven't seen it, go search it out because.
Right. I'll see if I can put it on our Facebook page. Did you see when LeBron asked Ty Lue, did we have a timeout? And Ty Lue tells him yes. The frustration, the look on LeBron's face. Yes. If you thought he wasn't done with this Cavs team, watching this video will let you know that. I thought he was going to get up and just walk off the bench. I didn't think LeBron James was going to show up the rest of the series.
First off, he doesn't say anything to J.R. Smith. They're sitting. There's a chair separating these two guys. They don't even look at each other. J.R. Smith at one point holds his head up. As you're saying, I think he's looking at the scoreboard. He may be looking at the replay going, oh, God, did I just really do that? And LeBron James just sort of staring off into nothing. And then at one point, you could just see oh my God. You could just see he's put his face in his hands and thought, oh, I cannot believe we were this close to doing this. And just everybody around me choked. The
video is now on our Facebook page. So if you have not seen it, seek it out. Just go to our Facebook page. Be sure to like it. 252 ESPN Radio. Yeah, it's there. Full, uncut, LeBron James, J.R. Smith, sadness.
I mean, even if they steal a game at home, and to me, the only way you're going to even try to hold water to an argument, because no team's ever come back from 3-0, ever. So this is the must win. It's not the one game 4, which obviously would be game 4 a must win because you'd have to win in order to keep the series going because you'd be down 3-0. But the truth of the matter is, if they don't win this, you can't even. A Cavs fan just might as well. I mean, I think if you're a Cavs fan right now, you've probably already just mailed it in, right? You just said this is done. This is done. What are the baseball teams doing? Time
ECU?
to watch some baseball.
What is ECU baseball doing?
ECU baseball is doing the same thing Cavs fan is doing. They're looking for stuff to do now, making those summer vacation plans. We are going to take a break, so let's do that now, and we'll keep this Monday vibe going. Don't go anywhere.